Hello everyone, Russell Wright from networkempire.com, and now we're going to dive into Module 2. And just so you know, Module 2 is really a website silo architecture refresher course. So those of you who've actually taken the website silo architecture courses in the past, or maybe have even built out websites that already have website silo architecture, then this course is not going to be necessary. This module may not be as pressing as it might be for someone who is unfamiliar with website silo architecture. You may have been drawn to this course by video, just the idea of video and the need to implement it, and that's fine. If you are, then you really do need to get a basic background on the complexity of the website silo architecture material. So please do listen to my audio. The audio is as simple as I could make it. I give you an analogy based on shouts and whispers when it comes to kind of the human analogy for how Google perceives website silo architecture and inbound linking. If that analogy doesn't work for you, there's plenty of other videos that you need to be caught up on, and we give those to you in the material. The resource that we're recommending is the mandatory reading on website silo architecture that Sue Bell has laid down. We do have an archive or a library of really good stuff. Okay, and so let's go ahead and just go through some of that. The first one is the members only area, the niche domination track. You really need to make sure that you cover that. The other one is Sue Bell's great video on website silo architecture, where she covers, it was probably the most well-received video on this topic that any of us have ever done, because sometimes when you're doing diagrams on website silo architecture, people get confused about the link flow versus the traffic flow, and she covers that really well here. The other one is the themes in Wiki page, which I really strongly recommend. This is website silo architecture in the Wiki page. Go ahead and look through it. This page is always growing and expanding, and you can look it up on website silo architecture on the search engines, or you can just click on the link inside the course. Very, very helpful. Then there's an early lecture that I actually captured of Matt Cutts. It's no longer available by Google, but it is available on our YouTube channel, where he actually for the first time admitted that theme architecture, which is very, very, very similar to website silo architecture, really does help the search engines understand what the site's about and get you higher ranking internally. Okay. The other thing that we cover is the great article by Bruce Clay, and I've typoed his name here. Let me go ahead and, out of respect for him, let me re-edit that, because that is not very nice on a live video. Fortunately, this is not too public. So, okay, Bruce Clay Inc. on website silo architecture. They have a great article that is SEO Siloing, how to build a website silo architecture. They get into his version of it. There's some minor differences on how we approach it, but the essence of it is the same. I learned this concept and the theory behind this concept early on in 2005. And then I brought it to Sue Bell, who then automated the process through technology. Through our programming, through Kraken. Another article by Sue Bell I think she might even have forgotten about, which I drudged up the other day, is Website Silo Architecture for Maximum Local Keyword Rankings. This is really, really helpful. She gets into some great stuff in this article. Highly recommend that you read it. Also, don't mistake micro-theming for website silo architecture. Little news report that I give you with some great links stacked in one of our Storify stores, and you can look around, make sure that a lot of people think when they're shouting about a page or linking to a page that's thematically relevant anywhere in the site, all over the place, that that is actually website silo architecture. That's not. That's micro-theming, and we created a term for that. We've got a Wiki entry on that, and because of that, we really wanted to make sure that you understood the difference between that, okay? 7 is Matt Cutts admits to LSI and topical pyramids, okay? I.e. website silo architecture can be a really good thing. His words, not mine. This video is something that was probably SMX 2010. The audio is very, very bad, and I apologize for that, but it is worth listening. He is talking about it, and you can make out what he's saying, that pyramid and LSI synonyms. He actually uses the word synonyms, not so much LSI. But when you stack synonyms about your category, in a pyramid is the word he used, which is i.e. website silo architecture, more or less. Anything stacked. If you have a stackable system with multiple ways of saying the same thing, that's silo architecture. That's what we're trying to get you to do. So he talks about that. That's kind of a fun video. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. And let's go back to the beginning here. There is a video here by me, an early explanation of silo architecture. The reason I'm cautious about this one is that the link flow and my first attempt to diagram this, there was some confusion on how to lay out the silo architecture, and just make sure that you're not confused by the way that I draw the links. And if there's any confusion at all, default to Sue Bell's explanation. She's far more skilled on explaining via technical language the website silo architecture systems, okay? And also want to make sure that you know that there's optional reading. Okay, you can just type in website silo architecture for optional reading. And we have a kind of cool article by our friend Jeff Smith from SEO Design Solution. This is optional. He's got a pretty good understanding of website silo architecture. And the other one is kind of a fun article that I wrote on phyllotaxis. Phyllotaxis is an arrangement of leaves on a plant stem from the ancient Greek phylon or leaf or taxis arrangement. Really has to do with the ratio in math. Ratio from your core theme to the related ideas. There's the mathematics of ratio. Remember, ratio is really about relationship. Size is about density. So what we're talking about here is how biomimicry and SEO have a relationship, and that's kind of fun. And if it's too abstract and it makes you go like, what the heck is he talking about? Just forget about it, because this is more for those who like to make tangent relationships with other disciplines to the one that you're studying. Okay, so just ignore that if it's not fun for you and it's not going to help you get more money in your bank account. Although I would let you know that Sue and I have had a good understanding of sacred geometry and biomimicry, and it was with that that we built a lot of our concepts and our hard math as well. Around the idea of digital hierarchy and phyllotaxis, which is really how latent semantic indexing works. It's a relationship or a percentage. When we designed Kraken, on the relationship or distance from one leaf to another, in other words, one word to another. So just so you have that connection, let me just go back to that. Biomimicry, yeah, pretty much. What I mean is like, biomimicry is about the distance from one leaf to another and the ratio or the math. And really, when you're creating when you're parsing a document and determining what the relationship between one word and another word is and how close they are, that is what is called co-occurrence. So there's a relationship in latent semantic indexing and co-occurrence with the concept of phyllotaxis used in microbiology. Used in biology, and that's kind of fun because ratio is really the relationship. And when we're pulling keywords using Kraken and TLKT, we really want you to understand that that co-occurrence relationship is important, because that determines how popular it is and how far from center the most profitable keyword is from your core theme. Okay, hopefully that makes a little sense. Again, that's super advanced stuff. You don't have to go there, but it's kind of fun. Okay, so enjoy this particular module, and when you're done with this module, please move on to the next one. Thank you.